Now, the following section, that money should not be given to. So one of them is people who have money and those who are able to earn a living, which means that a lot of those whom we give our zakat to, our zakat is not accepted because so many people come to me and say, Sheikh, my brother is in need and his salary is so little and he has like 6 children and he lives in rented home, so can I give him from zakat? It is not a yes or no answer. It is a description that you must give. So you tell him, is he classified as poor? And he goes to 1 month every year with the family to a Western country for the holidays, and he has some savings, he has some bonds. So, okay, where is the need then? Such a person is not in need. He's not poor. Definitely zakat is not permissible to be given to him. So if a person is rich or earning, you cannot give him from zakat. Unless, for example, if he administrators of zakat, meaning that he is working on behalf of the government, collecting and distributing the zakat. We've mentioned this last time, and we said that this is permissible for him to take from zakat money, even if he's rich, because he's taking zakat money not due to the fact that he is in need, rather because he is one of the 8 categories which are those who deserve to receive zakat. Also the debtors, those who are in debt. So if a person reconciles between fighting factions and he spends money of his own, even if he's rich, he's entitled to be given zakat if he paid that money with the intention to fix between fighting factions and at the same time to be given from the zakat. So these are the exceptions. Now, the needy part is also a little bit tricky. So we mentioned last time, if a person was interested in getting married and he doesn't have enough to get him married, okay, he has a job, he has a house, but he doesn't have money to furnish a house. He doesn't have money to pay for the dowry or to throw a walima in normal forms that are accepted in the society and the community. Such a person, we tell him that you are entitled to take from zakat. Likewise, a person who is a student of knowledge, and we have a lot of those in the West and the East, everywhere, students of knowledge. So this person, it is easy for me to say to him, if you are unable to finance your trip to seek knowledge and get a degree and study with the shuyukh so that you can come back and convey the ilm, the knowledge that you have learned to the community and to the Muslims, if you're unable to provide for yourself, we can give you from zakat money. So this is also part of the sources we can give zakat to, and they would be an exemption from this, that is people with money and those able to earn. This person is able to earn, but in order to work and earn, he has to quit school. So no, we give him from zakat till he continues and gets his degree. The second type of people that we cannot give zakat to, those whom it is my obligation in Islam to provide for. So zakat is a duty in your wealth. But at the same time, I have another duty. and that is to provide for my parents and for my descendants, from my offspring, and for my wife. These are those whom I am ordered to care for and to provide for. Generally speaking, they are those whom I would inherit if they were to die. And due to the fact that I am obliged to provide for, and I will benefit from if they were to die by inheriting, Islam prohibits me from giving them from the zakat, because I would be hitting two birds with one stone, and this is something that one should not do. Uh, uh, should not do, not because it's preferable. No, this is haram. I cannot go to my father and tell him, listen, this is $1,000 for a couple of months from my zakat money to buy food and to buy groceries, etc. This is not permissible. It is my obligation to provide for my father, for my mother, for my wife, for my children. So I cannot skip zakat by giving them. When it comes for paying off their debts, so let's assume my father is in need of zakat. I cannot give him from zakat money. I have to provide for him the shelter, the food, the medical care, the whole 9 yards. But what if my father has a loan of $50,000 that he lost in a business, and all those who lent him want their money back, or they'll put him in jail? It is not part of my responsibility to provide for my father the payment of his loans. I'm obliged to provide for him food, shelter, and medical care, but not to pay off his debts. So scholars like Ibn Uthaymeen, may Allah have mercy on his soul, said that in this case, it is permissible for you to give him from zakat money, because paying off his debts are not an obligation. Also, to be excluded from this point is a woman giving her zakat to her husband. So a woman has an amount of zakat to be paid. Can she give it to her father or mother? No. Can she give it to her daughter or son? No. Can she give it to her husband? Yes, if he's poor or needy. But the other way around is not permissible. So if a husband has a poor wife, he cannot give her from zakat. He has to provide for her. But because it's not an obligation on a wife to provide for her husband, if he is in need or poor, she can give him from the zakat money. Number 3, it is prohibited to give zakat to non-Muslims. And we've mentioned this earlier, and we meet people of the book, Christians and Jews. So inform them that Allah has mandated that we take zakat from their rich to return it back to their poor. Their poor meaning the Muslims. So we cannot give zakat to non-Muslims in the 8 categories, with the exception of one, which is those whom their hearts are inclined to Islam. And we mentioned that last class, so I will not go through it again. Number 4, the Prophet's descendants, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the people that belong to the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam and descend from him, and we know that those descending from the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam are from his grandsons and grandchildren, to be precise. So these are his descendants. These are Ahlul Bayt. And it's an issue of dispute whether Banu Hashim and Banu Abdul Muttalib are together in this prohibition, or only Banu Hashim? And the most authentic opinion is that both Banu Hashim and Banu Abdul Muttalib are prohibited from taking zakat. And this is what the majority of scholars say, because it is backed by a hadith that this is the filth and the dirt of people, and it's not permissible for us, Ahlul Bayt, to consume it. But some scholars like Sheikh Hassan bin Taymiyyah and others said that this prohibition stands only when the people from the descendants of taken from the Muslim treasury, Baytul Mal. But if they're not, as the case is nowadays, if they're not given their rights financially, then they would probably starve to death. So due to the fact that no one is giving them their rights, scholars say that we should not let them suffer and need. We should give them from zakat money, because they were deprived from their rights initially. But taking zakat money from rich people of the descendants of the Prophet ﷺ to give to the poor is better than taking the zakat money from every average Muslim, as a form of preserving their dignity, etc. And Allah knows best. Number 5 is the slaves freed by members of the Prophet's descendants, alayhi salatu wasalam, or household, and these are known as al-mawali because they follow in their lineage those whom have freed them. We don't have those, so we shouldn't pay much attention to it. And finally, the 6th category are the slaves. So if I see a slave who is in need, who's poor, I cannot give him from zakat money, because this zakat, if it reaches this slave's hand, initially it is his master's money. So as if I'm giving it to his master, who might and most likely would not be poor. So this is not permissible to give zakat to slaves them, and this is not permissible.